Okie dokie. Welcome. I just did a bunch of planning in this chat, and I want to document all of this from the start, just so we have it in the future. Might need it, might not. Wow, Cloud Desktop is not cooperating. So, I've had this idea floating around in my head for a while, that is to make this new Circus web app that would be able to host videos. It would track Circus archives, so you could see like who was in what acts, what years. People in the circus could log on and they can see the acts. They can vote on which one they think is the best. Um, and the end goal is there's this whole community of sharing these videos to the point that we can make an archive of all of the tricks that like have been done in the circus throughout the years, so that they can be given to new students, so that there can be like a cool progression. You can see examples of how other people have done this. We can have like specific styles of how someone would do this trick versus someone else. Just lots of fun stuff there. And this is all because the circus, which was an organization I was involved in college. So you go through, you can be in there for 4 years or however long in your circus, and then you're out. So they lost a lot of knowledge because you're really taught by other senior students. I mean, I don't know this personally, but I'm guessing that this is what happened. So maybe we'll show this to an actual circus person and they'll be like, no, not at all. But this is just my view from the outside. Anywho, they like COVID, there wasn't a lot of students that could be there. Like they just had to stop, so basically lost a year of information. And then, or COVID was like a couple of years, and then a tornado hit the tent, and it was another year back to back with no circus stuff going on, or less than usual, non-normal circus stuff going on. So I guess this is maybe the goal of this is to kind of preserve how it was before. I don't know. I'm rambling right now. Anyway, so that's the plan. So we'll be able to give these tricks to, or we'll be able to give these videos and these trick qualifications to new students so they can see what's been done, they can get better at things. And it was always fun when I was in circus to be like, oh, this person does this trick, this person does this. And like you find an old video of a juggling trick you've never seen before. It's just fun and cool and interesting. And the history of circus was one of my favorite things. So this is a cool little passion project. And I'm currently unemployed, so I can spend good amount of time on really making this a cool thing, and I'm going to use it also as a framework for this new agentic style of programming that I do. So typically when I'm doing, so already this is kind of cutting edge, but I'm trying to do the next cutting edge thing. Um, you would usually write code, right? And well, this isn't any code, this is markdown stuff, but you usually write code manually and you have to type in, I am typing, right? That's not how you have to code anymore. You can interface with this command line and it will do coding stuff. And this is called Claude Code. This is Claude Desktop where I did some of the project planning. So both Claude products. It's kind of like ChatGPT if you don't know what that is. And apologies if I feel like I'm over-explaining things. I think it's good to be verbose in these things and not assume anyone knows anything and just, put it all out there. Computer science can be a field that information is like gatekept because it's just complicated and unnecessary, which there has to be some of that to talk about complex things quickly and easily, but I don't know. This is supposed to be beginner friendly, so that is what it will be. Anyway, so I've been interfacing with this one command line and it can do one thing at a time. It can be working on one project, or maybe we'll see it up here. It can make a to-do list and it will like go through the to-do list of all the things that it needs to do. Will I be able to see this? I don't think so. Um, anyway, so it'll go through a to-do list, but the next thing that I want to do, and I want to do this not only because I've got this pretty complicated project. I've thought out most of it in my head and now I want to get it down. This is the new thing. So this is Google's new IDE. So like this is how I interact with Claude now. And it's just like one thing coding. Apparently in anti-gravity you can have multiple agents going at the same time. So like one conversation here, one conversation here, one conversation here, one conversation here. And it can manage all the different parts of this project. So like interfacing with users, working on database, testing. It can all be broken up into its own individual users so that their contexts never get too big and they specialize in specific things. Um, I haven't used anti-gravity before, so it's also just gonna it's just brand spanking new, and apparently they've got pretty good limits on using Gemini, so we also kind of want to test out Gemini because I've been using Claude. Maybe it's time for a fix or a switch. I don't know. I want to be using what's best. Okay, so that is basic intro stuff. What time are we at? Can I see that? Okay, 5:25. Alrighty, so now on to the coding. So I just had a long conversation with Claude. This is all on my phone. We talked back and forth, and this is how it represents it. So I'm talking about my background. I'm talking about basic video or website ideas. How I'm gonna save the videos on YouTube. Gonna use React. Talking about how I want to track these things by acts. You can vote on the videos. There's going to be some auth stuff so that you can vote. We're going to use hopefully an alumni list. Yeah, we'll get emails. Here's just I had this AI assistant bot because I know not everyone's computer friendly. It can maybe help some of the user interface, and also I've never written one, and I don't know. This is a project to try a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this is another cool idea down the line if I could like take user input and have it automatically update the website. Um, this is when I'm introducing anti-gravity. This is the multi-agent stuff. This is talking about some database stuff, some act-based voting stuff. It's talking about how performance got interrupted, like I was talking about earlier. Dynamic acts table. Yeah, this is more database planning, weighting votes. That's like V2 stuff. Some more database planning. Yeah, so this is talking about like getting involved with actually like making this a business plan and like getting that talking to the circus about it. I have a friend Jordan who recently did a movie with them and made some money from the movie, so she has interfaced with them and will be able to give me some insights on if it's something I even want to do or if I want this to be just a personal project and not even engage with them. Some versioning, project management stuff. Some CID CD pipeline. Yeah, I want to have like automated testing. So I think the agents I have planned right now is there's going to be a coding agent, and there might even be more of those, but we'll just copy those, and then we'll have I guess it'll just be business plan agent. That'll be for drafting the business plan. There'll be a documentation agent. There will be a testing agent. Um, I think that's all we need for now. So, let's talk about MVP stuff, how we're going to set up an anti-gravity. Okay, and this is where we're. So that's some more summarizing, and we are at 8:55. Alrighty, now we are going to get into doing this. So anytime I have these conversations with Claude, I'll have the whole conversation, and then at the end, I will summarize it in a project plan doc like this. And we'll reference this conversation too, but this is kind of just basic getting the idea down. And then here is the new conversation that I'm going to start. It says, hey, can you talk about the project idea? Let's start. I'm going to break up into different agent workflows. And then I'll say what I just talked about. Okay, yeah, we actually want to have 5 because we want to have a user interfacing agent. So I'm actually going to start this one with a research request because it's looking into anti-gravity and I want to have it do a little bit of research on each of these agents. Um, Agent interaction. Are these five agents working in parallel? Um, Fusing, enabling, or administrative. All right, so I just sent Claude off to do some research. You can see it's making the research plan here. So once it makes the research plan, it'll basically have a bunch of sites that it's gonna go read, and we'll start seeing those. So yeah, this is basically taking my prompt that is fairly human speak, um, asking some clarifying questions, and then making this research plan, which is very much AI speak, um, which is kind of the translation that's going on there. Yeah, so just wanted to kind of have an update at the beginning. I've been recording these whole things, and I think it might just be better to do updates like this. Um, so we'll see. Maybe there will be some extended coding sessions in the future, but I think I want to honestly play video games while I'm doing this coding, and you don't gotta watch me do the video games. But anyway, here's our sources. Um, So this will basically what I'm trying to get out of this today is set up anti-gravity. So hopefully when I come back, I will have some agents set up here, those five that I listed before, and they will be doing some work and building this website. Alrighty, I think we're gonna call it there. Just keep this a little bit shorter. I feel like I just never do anything with those longer videos. Yeah, 15 minutes, that's good. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna stop talking now, and cool, thanks.